rubber band powered egg carrying car. Good morning, guys. I've got a request from Alma C. Wants a rubber band powered car, 4 rubber bands, and it's got to fit an egg. So I assume that means it's got to carry an egg. 4 rubber bands, yeah, okay, doesn't say what size, and it doesn't give any other details as to what I can use. So what I've got here, I've got a cutting board because I'm going to be cutting up cardboard. I've got a cardboard tray that came from the supermarket, so it's fairly thick cardboard, fairly stiff. So I'm going to use that for the chassis or bodywork. I've got an egg box with 1 egg in it. Now you could try and reinvent the wheel and make some careful carrying case for your egg, or you could use the egg box. That's what it's designed for. That will protect it. So if you shut that, that egg is going to be pretty well safe. So I'm going to use that. For wheels, I'm going to use my usual. I've got some CDs here. Oh, that looks like a good one. I don't think we'll use that one. That's probably making life too difficult. That one's got a split in it. DVDs, CDs or DVDs, it won't make any difference. They're the same diameter. I've got some sticky tape. I've got some double-sided sticky tape. I'm going to use that instead of glue, only because it's handy. But you could use glue where I'm going to use that. Same with the sticky tape. I've got some bamboo canes or barbecue skewers. That one's a barbecue skewer. That's a flower cane. In other words, the sort of thing you get from a garden centre for holding your flowers up. That looks similar. When you look for things like this, canes, you will find a lot of them are bent, they warp. So the straighter you can find one, the better. So have a look through and choose the straightest ones you can find. I want some drinking straws. I've got some scissors. I've got a metal ruler because I'm going to cut the cardboard and run the knife down the edge of the ruler. So if you use a wooden ruler or a plastic ruler, then when you're cutting, it digs into your ruler and you don't want that. I think that's about it, apart from drinking straws. I've got a paper drinking straw there. This one's a bit narrower than I really want. If you can get a wider one, it's better, because when you put the bamboo cane up inside, although it's a free run, because these are usually warped, where they bend in the middle, they rub against the side of the tube. 2 ways around that. One is cut short lengths of the tube at either end so it can bulge out in the middle. You'll see what I mean, because that's what I'm going to do. Or use a bigger tube. The bigger, up to a point, the bigger the better, because then there's room for that curve or warp to rock around and not rub against the edges. When it rubs against the edges, that causes friction, that slows your car down. I think that's about it. So, slight change of camera angle. I'll actually cut it out on the floor. I'm going to use this side for the chassis. The longer the better, up to a point, because it helps it go straight. So that's our car chassis. You want the ends to be parallel. Because I've cut that from an existing box, they probably are parallel. If you've cut across that way, you need to try and line it up. And then cut across the top, and that should be the parallel for you. But I'm going to use that. This I'm going to tape on top. There's a problem because we really want the rubber band to go across the top, and that's going to be in the way, so we're going to have to let the rubber band go down underneath and pick it up at the back. At the back we need a gap. You'll see why in a minute. Looking at that, I'm not sure that is very straight. Oh yeah, it's okay. Right. I suppose you'll want some measurements. I'll use the width of my ruler. In about 1 centimetre or 1/2 inch. Bit like an H shape. Right, drinking straw. I'm going to cut it a little bit longer than that gap and do the same on each corner. So that's going to stick out a little bit. tape. That's what we're going to do on each corner. Don't be tempted to pull it tight, otherwise you'll crush the drinking straw. You can see how much that one's wobbling around. That's a bad one to choose. Okay, that's our chassis. I'm just going to cut a slot at that end. You'll see why in a minute. So it's just a little slot like that. Right, now we need some way of attaching them to there. Now, if you watch lots of my videos, you'll know that I use a 3D printer and have a nice hub that goes in the middle. But we'll assume you don't have access to a 3D printer. So I'm going to cut up a bit more cardboard and stick them over the middle. can stick them on there with glue, or I could use that, or I could use tape. Obviously, you can make that as neat as you like. I'm trying to do it rough to show that it does work, even if you're not very neat and tidy. One thing you do need to do is spot the middle. The closer you get this to the center, the better it will be. But it won't be the end of the world if you get it slightly off center. You can put a bit of cardboard both sides if you want. I think I'll probably try it with just one side, and I might even glue it. A bit of super glue just to make sure it doesn't slip. I've obviously used this one before. Yeah, I'll trim those little bits off where it's been used before so I can push it right the way on. Right, when it's on, you want a little bit of a gap. Like I said, I think I'll super glue those on just to make sure they don't slip. Right, so I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on there. That'll just stop those axles slipping in the cardboard. Okay, that's the back end. I'll do the same at the front end. Right, I've tidied up a bit. So let's have a close look at what we've done. We've got a piece of cardboard for the chassis, cut a slot out at each end. Then we've taped drinking straws, just short lengths of them, onto those bits that stick out. That means that if our barbecue skewer or bamboo cane is warped and it wobbles around in the middle, it's not going to actually rub against the bodywork or the inside of the straw, because we cut the straw out the way. And then to hold the CDs onto the axles, we just cut a rough rectangle of card, taped it to the CD, and then we did actually put a bit of super glue on the join just to stop it slipping. That should do. We need a rubber band. Oh no, it said 4 rubber bands, didn't it? Right, I've got some rubber bands. I don't think I need 4, but just for the sake of it, we'll show joining rubber bands together. Take the loop, take the other loop, push one loop through, and then push the other end of that band through the loop that you've just pushed through. And there you are, we've joined 2 rubber bands together. And that's an alternative way. I'll do it the same way again. Through, and then through the loop. Right, that's our 4 rubber bands. We cut a little slot in there. There you go. That will hold it in place. Then we're going to come underneath, but we need to go over the top of the axle if we want it to go that way. If we go underneath the axle, it'll go that way. And then finally, we want the egg in the box sitting on top, which is where I'm going to use the double-sided stuff. Come on. 1, 2. There we are, that's better. Egg inside. Oh, I didn't show winding it up. Just put that over the top of the axle, hold it, wrap it round, and it holds itself in place. If you can't manage that, you can glue a bit of wood on there to act like a hook, and that'll do the job for you. Right, is it going to work? There we go. Rubber band powered egg car, or egg carrying rubber band powered car. We'll just clear a space and we'll run it up and down the kitchen. Well, for those who want to know, that was about 8 meters we just did. And the egg is in there. Going back the other way. Oh, we're actually going a little bit left. Just out of interest, if we wind it up the other way round, so we wind it up that way round, it'll now be front wheel drive. So you can do it either way round, front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. It's just a matter of which way round you wrap the rubber band on there. Job done.